right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, all he wants for Christmas is heat.
I'm not asking for anything special. I just want to be able to live in my apartment.
The veteran left without heat not just during the bitter cold, but all winter long. Plus, one of the most notable parts of St. Louis is requiring masks again.
First tonight, bitter cold temperatures again, but an end is in sight when it'll warm up.
Tonight, that light snow is moved out, and what you see on the ground right now will not be there for long. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Mike Bush has the night off. A winter warm-up is on tap for this final week of 2022. Meteorologist Tracy Henson is in for Scott and joins us with the weather first forecast. Hey, Tracy.
Yes, I'm sure we're all looking forward to what we'll have later on in the week. But tonight and tomorrow, we are still going to be in the cold. We had those snow showers come through, as you can see here on our radar loop, and now things are looking nice and dry out there. Some of those snow showers were decently heavy too, and then just as soon as they arrived, out they went. Currently, it is quite chilly outside. Temperatures are in the 20s. It feels like 8 with winds out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour, packing that bitter punch. Over the next 12 hours, we will drop down into the teens. We're looking at about 16 degrees by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we're back up into the 20s by about 10 a.m. The rest of the day tomorrow, not all that bad, all things considered. We're going to have a good mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the mid-30s. We can look forward to sunrise right at around 7:20.
All right, Tracy, thanks. Well, the winter weather is wreaking havoc on water mains in our area. Right now, American water crews are busy repairing a 20-inch pipe near Hanley and Forsyth in downtown Clayton. Southbound Hanley is closed. They hope to finish these repairs overnight. American water crews had to fix more than a dozen water main breaks today. Well, tonight, a South City apartment building has no heat.
And residents are telling us the heat hasn't worked all winter. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski talked with a veteran who says he's also without electricity.
It's just a mess all the way around.
Edward Wood says he's lived in this building for the last 7 years, and over this past year, they haven't had any heat throughout the entire building.
Therefore, I bought the space heaters to try and be able to live here. But then the power went out, so I'm stuck.
Wood says the power went out to just his apartment right before the bitter cold snap. After replacing fuses and doing what he could, only one outlet worked, forcing him to sleep on the couch next to a space heater.
I just want to be able to live. I'm not asking for anything special. I just want to be able to live in my apartment and be fairly comfortable, you know, with heat and electricity. Even the fact that my oven hasn't worked in 2 years, I get around that because I purchased another oven.
It's not for a lack of paying all the bills and all that. That's not what's happening here.
Right. Yeah, I always pay the rent early.
Wood says CQ Tran Properties and the maintenance person will not return his calls. They didn't answer or return my calls either.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
He says he lost everything in his fridge and really doesn't have anywhere else to go because he's on a fixed income.
So I'm not asking for anything unusual or extravagant, just simple power and heat.
Reporting in South City, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And within just the last half hour, we reached out to that property manager again. We've yet to hear back.
Tonight, a holiday travel nightmare continues to unfold at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. Nearly 160 flights have been canceled today alone, and more than 100 flights have been delayed. About 95% of those flights are through Southwest. An airline official is telling 5 on your side it's due to a scheduling issue because of a massive winter storm that hit parts of the country over the holiday weekend. Tonight, look at this line. That is a very long line in Terminal 2 as passengers on canceled flights try to retrieve their checked luggage.
We've had no bags since Christmas Eve. I did brush my teeth once in the last 4 days, but other than that, I mean, I'm at a low point. I'm like using lady speed stick in the airport. So, I mean, the whole airport was just chaos. People were crying, people were throwing things, people were screaming and yelling.
Some people had to wait in line for more than 5 hours, we're told. And this isn't just a problem at Lambert. Thousands of flights have been canceled nationwide.
A St. Louis County police officer killed on Christmas Eve is being remembered. Loved ones say Officer Robert Wood served his country as a Marine and served his community. Woods was killed in what police are now calling a murder-suicide in Lincoln County. Investigators say the man who shot Woods then turned the gun on himself. Just a few hours ago, the St. Louis County Police Association released a statement calling this loss immeasurable. The statement goes on to say, quote, "Our prayers and support are with Officer Woods' family, to include his young daughter, now and forever." The St. Louis County Police Association pledges all of our resources to assist the Woods family, end quote. Well, tonight, community levels of COVID-19 are high in St. Louis City and St. Louis County.
And that's prompting the return of masks at our city's most famous landmark. New tonight, our Elise Schoenig joins us now with a deeper look at COVID rates in our community.
Yeah, Ann and Brent, beginning tomorrow, masks will be mandatory for visitors at the Gateway Arch. This follows guidance from the National Park Service. Now, although some people feel like this is a step backward, health experts I spoke to say it's a much needed precaution.
My kids had never been, and we just wanted to show them. We've told them a lot about it.
Thousands of people, like St. Louis native Mia Svensson, visit the Arch every day.
When a community reaches back into the high level, we are required to reinstate our mask policy.
But starting Tuesday, visitors like them will face a familiar requirement.
We do require that they use a surgical mask or a KN95, one of those types of masks.
The Gateway Arch is requiring masks now that community levels of COVID in St. Louis City and County are high per the CDC.
The transmission rate has actually kind of gone up in the last few weeks, and that's what the concern is.
Experts like Dr. Farron Mannion with Mercy St. Louis say these rates aren't shocking this time of year.
It's not a mystery. I mean, we're all exposed to cold weather. We congregate indoors a lot more holidays.
It's something visitors like Svensson have mixed opinions on.
It's tough, right? Because, you know, does it protect people? Yes. But at the same time, are we sick of it? Also, yes.
Program manager for Museum Services, Pam Sanfilippo, say they're continuing to keep an eye on rates while understanding how some people might react.
I know a lot of visitors aren't carrying those with them anymore, hoping that we were past this.
Now, you've heard a lot about the triple-demic. That's the threat of COVID, flu, and RSV. Dr. Mannion wants to remind us all that we have a long way to go before what he calls this respiratory season is over. Now, he says protecting yourself from just one virus could help protect you and others from all viruses.
Tonight, we're learning more about the Christmas Day announcement on the future of Rosati Kane High School. The alumni group RK Forever reached an agreement with the Archdiocese of St. Louis on a lease to keep the historic all-girls school open. St. Joseph Educational Ministries will sponsor the independent school. The organization was founded by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet.
It's a fit. Our sisters worked and taught at Rosati for over 100 years, and we've always been risk takers, and so we felt that this was just a given.
More details will be shared in a post-holiday news conference on January 6th.
Well, today is the first day of Kwanzaa. The 7-day celebration honors African American culture and Black history.
While the holiday is steeped in tradition, our Verified team found its origins are more modern day. Here's Ariane Till with more on the meaning behind Kwanzaa.
First observed in 1966, Kwanzaa, which means first fruits in Swahili, celebrates family, community, and culture. The annual 7-day holiday begins on December 26th, and throughout the week-long celebration, families come together to eat, dance, and rededicate themselves to 7 core principles. Dr. Mayalana Karenga, the creator of Kwanzaa, describes the holiday as, quote, a unique time to remember and honor our ancestors, to reflect on what it means to be African and human, unquote. While the holiday is tied to African traditions, many people have questioned the origins of the holiday. So let's verify. Did Kwanzaa originate in the United States? Our sources are Dr. Mayalana Karenga, the creator of Kwanzaa, and Dr. Richard Cooper, co-coordinator of the African American Studies program at Widener University. Karenga was born in Parsonsburg, Maryland. An activist in the Black Power movement of the 60s, Karenga co-founded the organization US, a cultural and social change organization which was based on the principles that later became the pillars of Kwanzaa. According to African American studies scholar Dr. Richard Cooper, Karenga created Kwanzaa as part of a broader Pan-African movement in the 60s. The symbols of Kwanzaa, including the candles and the flag, are deeply rooted in African culture.
Black represents the culture, red we say represents the blood or the people, green in fact represents the land.
While Kwanzaa is celebrated right after Christmas, it's not an African or African American version of Christmas, according to Cooper. Instead,
think of it as that it's grounded in bringing the family together, bringing the community together. It's a move away from capitalism. It's a way of helping all people kind of look more inside and trying to identify and work towards higher values.
So while Kwanzaa is rooted in African culture, it was created by an American. So we can verify it is true. Kwanzaa originated in the United States. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
What can we verify for you? Please send an email, verify@ksdk.com.
A juvenile detention officer's gambit.
They're very impulsive and they make poor decisions. And so chess teaches them they're going to be successful.
How he's teaching the game of life through the game of chess. A different kind of boo at the zoo. The spoiler to Raja the elephant's big 30th birthday bash tomorrow.
A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, temperatures in the mid-30s, but that'll be chilly compared to what's in store this week.
Well, tonight we're looking back at some of the people who made a difference in the St. Louis area in 2022.
Mike Bush introduces us to a local man using his love of one of the oldest board games to help young people on the wrong track make the right moves.
A St. Louis County Corrections officer says kids who end up in juvenile detention are often impulsive, leading to poor decisions. But as you'll learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, he's trying to show them how to think before acting by teaching them the game of chess.
At the St. Louis Chess Club, every day brings new choices, and more people are seeing value in that.
We have about 1,000 members, and I think 20 or 30,000 go to the Hall of Fame for the exhibitions.
You played a line I knew.
James Tyus is one of those members who was captivated after walking in one day and playing against an 18-year-old stranger.
He was so good, and I was just like, I didn't know anybody could be that good. And so he kind of, I said, well, can you teach me? Nah.
And Tyus was soon making moves in an unexpected direction. His chess journey began when he was a kid, but by the time he was 14, he ran away from home.
I had an abusive home, drug addiction, stepfather, abusing those type of things.
In good moments, his stepfather did teach him the basics of chess. Then, after fleeing to the safety of his grandmother in East St. Louis, he soon joined the high school chess team.
The girls kind of say he's smart, and then so there was something that was, special about that, if you played chess, everybody thought you was smart.
These days, this Army veteran and college graduate is a St. Louis County juvenile detention officer. And his latest gambit? Teaching chess to the kids in juvie.
Kids, so that, what are you doing? Let me play. I can beat you. That type of thing. And then next thing you know, they're playing, and chess is so contagious.
At first, Torian Robinson says it was a good distraction.
Using it to keep my mind off the situation I'm in.
But Tyus knew the distraction could also be an education.
They're very impulsive and they make poor decisions. And so chess teaches them they're going to be successful. They have to not be as impulsive and they have to think.
And Torian, who was arrested in connection with a robbery, is now one of his star pupils and in demand as a competitor.
It seems like every time I sit down at a chess table, you always got a crowd of people watching on because the chess game be so intense. It's like everybody want to see what's going on.
As for James Tyus, the officer is now an author. His book, Checkmate Life, highlights the many parallels between chess and life. And that book is also an animated series on YouTube.
The object of the game of chess is to
trap the other king.
Decisions have consequences, and when they make decisions over the chessboard, they are happy or sad because they get an immediate consequence, or maybe a few moves down the road. They see the effect of it, but they learn from that.
Life lessons on a chessboard. James Tyus showing that when you see what you think is a good move, look for a better one.
And just having something positive going for yourself, it gives you a brighter future.
The book Checkmate Life is available on Amazon. And a reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
All right, Mike, thanks. Over the next week, many of you will be undecking the halls. And if you have a real Christmas tree, you can go ahead and recycle it for free. Make sure you take off all of those lights, the ornaments, and the tinsel first. There are more than a dozen drop-off sites in the St. Louis area. To find the closest one near you, text the word TREE to 314-425-5355.
Tomorrow, Raja the elephant will turn the big 3-0, and for the third year in a row, he'll have to miss out on his birthday party at the St. Louis Zoo. Officials say weather conditions are forcing them to keep the elephants inside tomorrow. Raja's last two birthday celebrations were held virtually because of the pandemic. Zoo goers can still sign a big birthday card at the Living World North entrance from 11 until 1 tomorrow. Raja was the first Asian elephant ever born at the St. Louis Zoo. And we had snow coming in earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Raja did not like that, I'm sure. Probably didn't even poke the trunk out or anything.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
know, so we need to get rid of that, and we need to get back into the 50s, Tracy.
What can you do, Tracy?
I know. Okay, we are getting there, though. We have some good weather in our forecast today and tonight, not so much. We have that snowfall that came through. Let's let this radar loop around just one more time to show you where we had those bands of heavier snowfall. Not much accumulation just because it did come in so quickly. This is called a clipper system. It just kind of clips us as it goes right on by. Okay, the view outside over Lambert, you can see some of that snowfall still on our camera as it starts to melt away. Things are looking decent over there at Terminal 2, but inside, as you saw earlier, bit of chaos. Temperature-wise, it's not great. Our wind chill is at 8 in Chesterfield, 10 in St. Charles, 9 in Greenville, 11 for Scott Air Force Base. We know these are the numbers that count because the minute you walk outside, this is what you feel with that wind against you. Tonight, we're going to make it to 14, but with winds out of the northwest at just about 5 miles per hour, expect it to feel more like the single digits and the low teens. And it'll be clearing as we get through the rest of the night. Tomorrow, some sunshine is in order. That'll feel really nice for us. We're going to make it up into the low to mid 30s, a good mix of sun and clouds outside, and then we're going to look at a mostly clear night ahead for us. Winds will be decently light tomorrow, but I can't say the same for the rest of the week ahead. So nice sunny conditions for us tomorrow. And your St. Louis 10-day forecast here for you. So once we hit Wednesday, we are looking at the 50s, but you'll always hear me talking about the winds of change once we start to see those temperatures. You're definitely going to feel that when you walk out the door Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday. Just because we are transitioning into those warmer temperatures, things have to, that wind is going to be very strong. It has to blow around a little bit until we equalize into those 50s. So we're going to have those winds with us, winds of change, like I say. A few isolated showers on Thursday, some showers with us on Friday, rain showers, not the snow variety. A few showers for us on Saturday. For New Year's Eve, we're still in the low 50s then. Just a little spot shower or two on Sunday, and then we're looking at thunderstorms for us on Monday, 58 degrees. It's still 7 days away, so we'll fine tune it as it gets a little closer. The trend as it continues does look like we're going to start off the new year on a little bit of a drier note. Once we get through those storms on Monday, we're looking at dry conditions for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Good mix of sun and clouds. We're going to come close to average temperatures by the time we hit Wednesday and Thursday, which would be down into the 40s.
Let's talk a little bit about these winds. How bad are they going to be? Anything outside that could blow away? Does it need to be put somewhere safe?
You know, if your trash can doesn't have a lot of heavy stuff in it, odds are it's going to go flying down the road.
Yeah, all right. We better keep it in mind.
Yes.
Tracy, thanks. We have sports now.
Well, we are all over town at holiday basketball tournaments, and we will pay tribute to a special legend in the area who passed away. Stay with us. The Blues got 3 days off in a row, and they deserved it. They picked up 7 points in 11 days over 5 games on a very important road trip. They are 10th in the West, so there is still a lot of work to do, and it begins tomorrow with Toronto coming to town. A short time ago, Jeff Saturday was wearing makeup in the ESPN studio. That job was better than coaching the Colts tonight against the Chargers. His quarterback, Nick Foles, was picked off 3 times. He started for the St. Louis Rams 7 years ago. And Austin Eckler scored 2 touchdowns. The Chargers clinch a playoff berth with a 20-3 win. So if you are a Hoops fan, the best buy in town is to buy a ticket to one of these holiday tournaments for $5 and you watch 4 or 5 games. You can't beat it. Let's begin at MICDS. Ladue came out firing against Zumwalt North. Dwayne Foley whips it to Zion Hampton for the bucket. Then on defense, Jake Steinbach is a thief, the steal, and the layup right there. Kobe Anderson tried to keep North in it with a nifty move here, but Ladue rolled 69-27. St. Charles and Rittner were next, and this Nick Pugh has some range for the Pirates. Rittner right back, Grayson Rogers with the teardrop on the baseline right there. St. Charles won it 64-60 in overtime. Nice looking move by Blake Wiggs there. Earlier, it was Liberty against St. Mary's, and the Dragons like to run. Zaire Collins, Yori's little brother, with 2 of his 23. The Dragons slay Liberty 59-48. On to Afton. Bob McCormick and Priory taking on Rockwood Summit, and the Ravens will move the ball well. Christian Gonzalez will drain the bomb. Priory won it 49-36. Next, a visitation, Westminster against Edwardsville. For Westminster, Sydney Bradley gets the steal, dishes it to Julia Coleman, and she will make the layup for the Wildcats. For Edwardsville, Emerson Weller will pound the boards right there and get the putback. But Westminster won this game with offensive rebounding. Addie Kane is going to end up with the jumper, and Westminster wins it 49-34. Let's try Pattonville and Civic Memorial. And the Lady Eagles are soaring early. This is Marley Durbin popping the jumper on the left baseline. But the Pirates have Kennedy Horton inside, and they win big. The final in this one was 45-29.
The ultimate New Year's resolution to become a multi-millionaire.
Good one.
Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot has grown to $565 million. It's the 6th largest in the game's history. The odds of winning, though, 1 in 302 million.
We've got hope. If you want to ring in 2023 in style, you might want to head out of town. Wallet Hub has ranked the best U.S. cities to celebrate New Year's Eve. St. Louis ranks 36th overall. New York, Orlando, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and Atlanta top the list. The findings were based on factors like the number and cost of New Year's Eve parties, weather, safety, and accessibility.
You just got to cross your fingers you can get a flight out of town.
Yeah, that's
And
no
make it
kidding. What
to
a
your
disaster
destination.
today at the airport, yes.
Thanks for the company, my friends. That's all of our time at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, though, is next.
Start your Tuesday morning with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. and have a great tomorrow.
Good night.